We brought that fresh aspect, or fresh eyes, in addition to the fact that we were shooting in Mexico.
Sure.
That was really an added layer that I truly believe the audiences are going to appreciate.
Guys, holy shit, this one's good. It is fantastic. I think Saw's at its best when it's centered around the John Kramer character. He feels to me like the Punisher of the horror genre, especially this one, because we get to see a more humanized side of John. Kevin, question for you. You've been on this franchise since the beginning. Can you talk to me about how working as an editor kind of helped you prepare to be in the director's chair for this epic 10th Saw movie?
Making these films work did require a lot of ingenuity in editorial that James Wan brought to the table, because that film was shot in such a short schedule and with so little money that we didn't really have all the pieces that we needed. And so the editing room became kind of a laboratory of creativity that made us just really think outside the box. And James and I just shot stuff with my regular camera to supplement it. And we did a lot of work in After Effects. And so in the long run, as I started to work more on the series, I would recommend, we need this kind of coverage, and don't be shy about getting this, that, and the other, because the trap scenes are comprised of lots of little units of information. And so I think, I don't even know how many different camera setups there were in this film, but probably thousands. Right? I shot so much on this movie. The actors were ready to strangle me, I think. Because, that's what it takes to make it all work.
Sure.
But I think Kevin's background in editing, really helped us so much. The director of photography, Nick Matthews, and myself, this is our first Saw film. So for us, it was like we had somebody that was really guiding us, And when we talk about those inserts and those components that we need, we had a lot of little gears and chains being pulled. We needed to see this moving, or this aspect of the trap needed to be emphasized so that the audience would feel it was real. So it was really great to have Kevin on board as our guide. And then we brought that fresh aspect, or fresh eyes, in addition to the fact that we were shooting in Mexico.
Sure.
That was really an added layer that I truly believe the audiences are going to appreciate.
Anthony, I love the traps in this film.
Thank you.
Where do you draw that inspiration from to get some of these crazy sadistic traps?
Yeah, I think they come from a couple of different areas. First of all, we always want to make sure that the audience believes that John Kramer made these traps, because sometimes it can get a little out of hand, a little too much. Number two, we were in Mexico, so we pulled from some of that lore,
Right.
that mythology. The other aspect is that we're in the actual factory, so we want to make sure those traps were integrated and it was believable. And the last aspect is that we have this medical theme, right?
Right.
So each of these traps were designed for each of these characters, and there was a purpose and a lot of thought put behind it. So I think that was the approach.
And we're both lapsed Catholics in a Catholic.
Yeah, there's a little bit of iconography, and we both went to Catholic school, so you can look it up. You'll see.
The Inquisition.
There's at least, the Spanish Inquisition was another part of it too.
Kevin, this isn't your first time directing a Saw film, but did you go back to watch the original Saw directed by James Wan, since this does take place between the first Saw and the second Saw, to kind of draw inspiration from that exact moment?
Of course, yeah. I went back and watched 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the ones that are kind of relevant to this story. So yeah, it was fun. I hadn't seen any of them in such a long time, and it was really cool to look at them again. And I was in Saw 2 in particular. I've always really liked it, but that one stood out to me even more than I thought it would.
Well, you guys did such an incredible job on this one. I look right. So this one's right there for me with Saw 1. It is incredible. I love the story. It's strong. I really hope that if we continue on from this point forward, going through the Saw franchise.
Okay.
That would be great.